Hey everybody, it's Neon. Oh, hello out there, it's Neon Tiger. Welcome back to Speedrun Ragnarok 2019. We are raising money in support of Take This, and right now we've got some Crystalis Randomizer here. I'm here with Demerine and sylverfyre. How are you two doing tonight?
Doing all right, and yes, some people in chat mentioning that this is an SNK game. It is pretty much their only RPG like that I can think of.
Yeah, no, I mean it is a late generation NES game. It's kind of an RPG, kind of a Zelda-like.
Yeah, a lot of these late generation Nintendo Entertainment System games were crazy to see because they were doing all kinds of incredible stuff at that point, just maximizing what they could get out of the system. But I don't know a whole lot about Crystalis, much less how the randomizer works. So perhaps I'm sure some of our wonderful people in chat also don't know a whole lot. So maybe we could just kind of go give a real quick talk about what the game is about.
So basically, as mentioned, it's kind of like a Zelda-like. One of the key features is that there are 4 elemental swords: wind, fire, water, and thunder. And each of these kind of has different properties. The game also features a central mechanic of all 4 of these swords. If you're standing still, you can charge up a shot and fire a projectile of that element. These can be used not only to fight enemies, but also break certain walls, or in the case of the Sword of Water, build bridges over shallow water.
Yep. The other major thing is that what you donated for, everybody, so of course thank you so much for your donations to Take This. We greatly appreciate it. You donated for story mode. So normally to finish the game, we need to find the 3 bows: the bow of sun, the bow of moon, and the bow of truth out there in the great wide world. And that's really actually all we end up needing. But since you've selected story mode, and again, we thank you greatly for that, we do also need to find all 4 swords. And we need to defeat every single boss in the game, including what may be a very long and arduous trek through Dragonia Fortress, the actual quote-unquote last deep dungeon of the game.
That sounds very cool. And I guess really good time for anyone who's never seen this game get played. You get to see everything tonight in this randomizer speed run. Albeit a little bit out of place, I would assume. Not quite, finding everything where it should be. That's, of course, the randomizer nature of this. Like most other randomizers that are out there for different games, things are going to be moved around a little bit within logic. So we're going to, I believe you two mentioned that you hadn't tested this yet, so we don't quite know where everything is at all. So it should be very interesting to see how this all shakes out.
All right. We should probably get the show on the road.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll count us down in 3, 2, 1, go. And there's actually a little glitch right at the beginning there. If you hold left or right at the beginning, then you skip a little cutscene there that's like 15 seconds long of your character spawning. We're going to be just picking up some starting items, accidentally talking to an NPC.
I didn't accidentally talk to that NPC. Am I like a second ahead?
I guess so.
Very cool. So I do want to take a very quick moment here to talk a bit about the donation goals that we still have. Coming up next, we've got Loom as our game that's being run. We've got an incentive for that. We're at 46 out of $100 for watching the Cathedral cutscenes. So if you really want to see those cutscenes, be sure to chip in. We're $54 short on that, so just under halfway. I know you guys can do it. I believe in you.
Still, I'm pretty sure you're going to get to Portoa first because I shot badly, so you may have to explain the very first glitch of the game.
Alright, well, as she mentioned, the first glitch of the game that we'll be seeing is the statue glitch, which, it's used to glitch past some statues in another place in the game, but it can also be used to just glitch past guards that are standing in front of doors. Because the guard tries to push you away from the door, but what he actually does is he pushes you in the opposite direction that you're holding. And then there's also another thing I did there. So I was able to go through the guard and then trigger a little cutscene where the queen gives me an item. Then I did what's called a wild warp. It's kind of like up and A in Zelda 1 where you can warp back to a place. In the original game, it can send you all over the world. It's in the randomizer, instead of just allowing you to completely sequence break the game, it always sends you back to Leaf.
Which we're going to use a fair few times in the early game, because coming back to Leaf is not the worst idea a lot of the time. Also, this enemy mix, one of the newer flags in the randomizer is that the very last zone of the game, which we're going to get to at the end, is called the Tower. Spoilers. But those enemies used to not be in the enemy mix. There's a flag that puts them in the enemy mix now, so we get to deal with cannon robots in the overworld.
And helicopters. Hecking helicopters.
Can we not talk about the RPG jerkbirds, please?
Helicopters are definitely RPG jerkbirds.
They're the biggest RPG jerkbirds in this run by far.
Oh gosh, speaking of jerks.
I'm not in the windmill cave yet. Am I gonna die? Am I gonna hear the noise, Syl?
We're gonna hear the noise.
Oh god. Gods be good, really? Who rolled this mess?
I did.
Why did I let you do that?
That shrieking noise, by the way, you can hear it from off screen. It's the sound of morning stars in this game, and you saw how hard it was for me to get past those without getting my brain smashed in.
Especially on the bridge here.
Yeah,
Thankfully, I bought
quite a reach.
Thankfully, I bought 3 medical herbs. I'm gonna probably use all 3.
They were nice and cheap.
Yeah, warp boots are expensive, which are something we'll talk about a little bit. Oh god, I got hit 3 times by that one too. Heck. Really? One.
Okay, well, that's not too bad.
Anytime you hit it, basically what's the overworld, you'll hear the overworld theme. That is going to checkpoint. Any town will automatically checkpoint. When you wild warp, you checkpoint because it technically puts you in a town. But yeah. Again, I may be a little tired from the last 2 hours. Deep breath, Syl. You're fine. You've got this.
Birds.
Herbs.
I died.
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna use my last medical herb here already, but... Oh, I got the first spell in the game. Not what I wanted, but it was what I deserved. So the first spell that we are going to receive is Recover, which will allow us to, for 24 MP, it's very expensive, allow us to remove a status effect. And I say a status effect very specifically because, let us be real for a minute, you can only have one status effect at a time. It is a one location in memory, so you can only have one status effect at a time.
You know, one of the interesting things about games that really pushed the bounds of the NES is they have weird limitations like that because of the restrictions placed upon them by pushing the limits of a console that is not that powerful.
Yep. Also, one of the items that we did receive is rabbit boots. And rabbit boots are interesting because normally in the regular game they just let you jump, which is useful. It's very useful in a lot of places. And it gets used a lot in the vanilla run. But in the randomizer, it also lets you charge while you're moving. So, like we said before, you normally have to stand still to charge. Normally you cannot charge while moving. But for a little while at least, until maybe I find a better item in that slot. For now, we're going to take advantage of the fact that I can have a level 2 charge whenever I want.
So we found the Sword of Wind, it looks like, perhaps, both runners?
Yep.
Awesome.
So I need to farm money, but there's one really annoying thing about the robots out here. Robots don't drop money.
What kind of weird logic is that?
Since they're
always
from,
drop money.
since they're from the very last area of the game, when you don't get any more money, they therefore don't drop any.
Well, that seems like a scam, but yeah, it makes sense within the logic. If it's in the last area, you're probably at the point where you don't really need money. You're probably just trying to go through whatever the last level is.
Yeah, it's kind of past the point of no return. Oh my... that was greedy of me to do that at all.
Ooh.
Okay, I was trying to push...
Oh, go ahead.
Trying to push one of the soldiers into the corner, couldn't do it, and then took a mace in the face.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Those guys look like you have pretty good range, and it looks like do we have mini bosses in this game as well?
Yeah, that's a mini boss that I died to.
Oh, I guess it was your turn to die to vampire in a race, wasn't it?
Yep.
We are off to a flying start. Don't worry, I can't even get to vampire at this point, so it's fine. Did I get a despawn finally? I got a despawn there. I'm gonna take 2 hits, though. Oh, butterflies, really?
Yeah, that's what I did to the first time.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that death too. I kinda want what's there, though. I kinda want the shield. Shields, though, don't give you any physical protection. All they do is protect you from projectiles. Armor protects you from being touched by things.
Wow. This is a mean windmill cave.
Yep.
Yeah, this is my first time watching this, and I'm just looking at this windmill cave, and I assume it's normally not like this, just with all the randomization is a lot.
Yeah,
it's
the
just a lot
enemy
more of a pain in the
randomizer,
butt.
even though the enemies are... So the enemies are scaled based on how far we are in the game. That doesn't mean that they're nice. Oh, that was great movement from around that lizard.
Am I gonna fight... Do I have to fight vampire on 0 health here?
I wouldn't fight vampire on 0 health. I would just wild warmth and keep your XP.
Well, the problem is that I could grind 3 right now off of blobs. Which probably is the safest idea I've got. And get a little bit of HP. I think it'll give me 1 hit worth of hits. I mean, I believe in my ability to fight vampire. I've never died to vampire in a race before.
Oh, don't invoke Murphy's Law.
But I did it in the very last race we did.
Oh.
No herbs. 16 hit points. Yeah, no problem. We got this. Vampire is down.
Nice.
Alright. Grinding a little bit didn't hurt there, because as you level up, you do get some stats. You get a little bit of attack and a little bit of defense every level you gain, so it's not the worst idea to kill a couple of enemies here and there to keep up with basically the difficulty curve of the game.
Alright, vampire down.
Yay!
Woo!
Based on all of our practice, Syl is slightly faster than I am overall. I think they're a little bit more efficient in the menus and a little bit more efficient on the map than I am.
So I just saw that you both picked up the insect flute from Vampire there. What does that do?
That allows us to summon a mini-boss in the forest, which may or may not be required. It's only one item over there.
Yep. The interesting thing is that we may not need to fight it. But we don't need to fight it for story mode. It's not one of the story mode bosses. It's it's basically the only one that you avoid in the run.
Cool. And I just saw that both of you have also picked up the Sword of Fire, so that's 2 of the 4 swords.
Yep. Now we have our first routing decision. Still, you have the choice of going into Waterfall Cave over by Portoa, or you have the choice of trying to start climbing up Mount Saber West. What do you do?
I'm here. I'm doing here.
I'm not leaving this place. Saber West is like right here. Don't blame me. I'm actually doing the same thing. Plus, through a bit of a vagary of the randomizer, there is one item that requires the tornado bracelet, but there's a 50% chance that we can get it. So.
Oh wait.
Also, holy heck, I got to use the rabbit boots for a vanilla run piece of routing.
I can kind of see that we're in the new area as well. Looks a lot colder up here.
Yep, and here we use the Sword of Fire to break the walls instead of wind.
Well, that
So
makes
we
a
can-
lot of sense.
Yeah, so there's
Yep, the walls here are ice. The walls.
see, it's kind of cool how like the vanilla game's mechanic of, you know, gating progress by swords giving you the ability to break walls plays really well into the randomizer.
Yep.
This is kind of helpful. Seems to be if you play a lot of older games like this, there's kind of that progression where you get item and use item to do thing immediately that you need to get to next thing.
Yep. Crystalis is not immune to that effect. Why am I checkpointing here? This is not a checkpoint.
Birds!
They're everywhere. I mean, these are only tiny birds, though. They don't hurt that much. Crystalis is full of RPG Jerkbird action, though. If you like RPG Jerkbirds, you'll like Crystalis. Also, Syl, you rolled this seed, right?
Yep.
You're the best. I just need to let you know that you're wonderful. I think you're great.
Is that 'cause you got the power ring?
It might be because I got the power ring, yes.
So power ring, like the name implies, increases your attack.
By a lot. It's 8 in the vanilla game, and it's been nerfed in this a little bit. I forget it
Actually,
precisely.
it's your level in the vanilla game, and here it's, instead of your level, it's your sword power.
So if we're using an orbed sword, it's 4, which is not so bad. I mean, it basically will make things so much faster. That's not a thing I want. Actually, that is a thing I want. It's worth a lot of experience, but that was our first mimic chest there.
Yeah.
Ow. Mimic chest.
Destiny switching sword a lot because a lot of enemies are only vulnerable to certain types of weapons.
Yep. Mimic chests in particular are vulnerable to fire, so having the fire sword there is really good. These Medusas, however, are vulnerable to the water sword, which we don't have, and those gray puffballs will petrify us. And if we get petrified, we're probably dead. So we don't want that. Syl is probably a little more efficient at gathering experience as well. I'm always a little bit less worried about gathering experience and more about just getting around the map as fast as I can.
Wow. That stinks.
Is everything terrible, Syl?
Yeah, pretty much.
This is a really, really linear seed, by the way.
I haven't been updating my tracker, so I apologize for that. I think I left an item behind in Windmill Cave.
I mean, not every RPG randomizer lore master, not everyone. Just most of them. But going to Mount Saber first was correct because we get an item here that will unlock one drop in this location. We'll get the Flute of Lime.
Yep.
I mean, Rocco, just so you're aware, after this marathon is over, I will have run 5 different randomizers in marathons. I believe it is. Do we get a mug of coconut, too? No, we do not. Good?
I didn't get turned into a blob.
Oh, wait, are there blobbers in Waterfall Cave? Because I'm not there yet. Being turned into a blob is annoying, actually, because your recover spell does not stop that effect.
Yep. And you can't do anything as a blob other than walk very slowly. It will go away if you screen transition. So you can just back up to the last screen
Except
very
if you're
slowly.
And, of course, the enemies will kill you. Because a lot of your ability to evade is the fact that you are fairly quick on your feet.
You kind of think that'd be a painful experience, too, being turned into a blob.
You didn't need those bones anyway, it's fine. Thanks, friend, I think.
Well, we'll get to see this.
Well, we're still in a real linear seed at this point.
Yeah.
We're getting these, like, 1 checks right now. Alarm Flute's a 2 check, but we can't get to one of them right now. So that's just a 1 check. We got... What other 1 check? We got one other 1 check just now. We got Onyx Statue in here as well, so that's another 1 check. So yeah. Also, for the astute in chat who might have seen, when the second time that Syl or I went into a shop, you might have noticed that items were more expensive than the first time in Leaf, or anywhere. And that's part of the scaling. Do you want to explain scaling to everybody, Syl?
So the way that the randomizer determines, like, how far in the seed are you, how much XP should things be giving, and how much, like... how much XP should things be giving, how much should things cost? It's based on how many key items you're holding. Also how much damage enemies do, etc. It's also how much XP and gold enemies give. Consumables will increase in price, but they increase in price slower than the rate at which you get XP and gold. Armor actually gets cheaper.
Armor's for cowards, though.
Armor's for people who don't like to die?
Yeah, and dying in races, in general, is pretty bad. We don't want to die if we can help it. She says, having equipped that shield basically immediately without even considering.
I didn't even go back for the shield.
I absolutely wanted the Psycho Shield.
I didn't want to die to the moth.
I didn't die to the moth.
I died to the moth the first time, and then I didn't go, like... I almost died to the moth the second time, and then left myself with not enough health to fight.
Vampire, yeah. I was actually able to successfully win to the moth enough times to figure out how to dodge it. I Maybe it would have been faster for me not to wild warp here. Oh well. Of note, Syl, this week's been fun so far.
Oops, I booted to the wrong place.
That's a waste of money and time.
Yeah.
Boots cost money. A lot of the time you'll hear us talking about our boots economy, because that's real important. Because we always want to boot to where we need to go next.
Oops, I should have done this while I was in the menu.
Also, Syl, thank you for rolling a shell flute seed.
I know, right?
So everybody, if you haven't heard, if Syl isn't ahead of me right now, at least you're going to hear Angry C from me first. But if Syl's ahead of me, you'll hear it from me second.
I think we're pretty much tied.
Yeah, we're pretty even right now.
Yeah, it's pretty much neck and neck at this point. Almost, you're kind of in the same frames. So pretty good so far, at least.
We love the dolphin very much.
Aw.
Dolphin always tells you to take care. Very sweet and nice dolphin.
Yeah, dolphin is 10 out of 10. Would be dolphin's friend.
All games need dolphins in them.
Oops, that's the wrong flute.
Also, I'm a little confused. Why is it with both Sword of Wind, Ball of Wind, Sword of Fire, Ball of Water? Why is ESI still locked off to us? Oh, because we don't have the ability to get over water. I went over this last time in practice.
And we don't have flight, and we don't have water.
Yep, I forgot you need water for that. Or flight. I mean, which means we're probably going to get flight soon unless this is like Ball of Water. Or we could get that. Thanks, game, I think.
So...
Here's our dolphin friend again.
Oh man, we're like right there, aren't we?
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, keeping in mind this is a randomizer, and you know, could be spoilery if we keep telling each other that we're real close, but
That's true.
At this point, it's sufficiently linear that,
yeah, it shouldn't come as a surprise.
Yeah.
Take care. Take care. Alright, so there's our access to... So we have access to second half of the world, and like literally like 2 checks there. Now would be a good time if there's anything going on donation-wise. We've been 25 minutes into this run.
Yep, let me just check real quick here, see if we got any new donations. Nothing new. Still looking for that last $54 to get the Cathedral cutscenes in Loom, which will be coming up after we've completed the randomizer here. And of course, you're currently watching Speedrun Ragnarok, and we're proud to benefit Take This again this year. And for those who don't know what Take This is a mental health nonprofit, and their main mission is to inform the gaming community about mental health issues, provide education on different disorders and prevention techniques, and reduce the overall stigma around mental illness. Take This helps people in the gaming community suffering from mental illness by letting them know they are not alone in their struggles and there are treatment options out there to help. Take This provides education on mental illness so that friends, family members, and coworkers can be better allies to those who are suffering. You can support Take This and get some sweet Speedrun Ragnarok swag by ordering one of our official shirts. Exclamation point merch and chat will give you the links to our listings on Teespring. And we thank you very much for your time and donations.
Oh.
like we're in a new area again here as well. Looks a little bit drier here.
Yeah, this is where the end of the game occurs in vanilla. This is the desert. The last few zones of the game are here. This zone normally requires Sword of Water, Ball of Water to get around because that's how the plot sets out. That Flight, the spell that lets us go above and beyond everything, kind of breaks the game in half in terms of routing. Which, hey, look, there it is. Unsurprising. Because Flight lets you fly.
Nice. If only it was that simple in real life. Just, walk up to a random chest, you open it up. Hey, you can fly now.
Look, it worked for Peter Pan. Bird, please. Bird, please. Why? Why do you kill me like this? Why do you kill me like this? Why do I not pop an herb when I don't have any armor yet? Don't mind me, folks.
And Dem, is that a what you're doing there with your strategy? Is that kind of intentional? Your intentional strategy is to keep using the sword like that. Does it help anything go faster, or is it just
Mostly means when you
safer?
face plant into an enemy.
There's a chance. There's a chance you'll faceplant with your sword.
Nice, nice.
All right, I'm not. Because sword swinging in this is a little weird. Because we talked about the charge mechanic a little bit and how when you hold the button down you get charge. So, when do you swing your sword? That's right, when you release the B button. Not when you push it, but when you let it go. So timing in this game is a challenge sometimes.
Certainly sounds that way. Usually, yeah, like you mentioned, it's on the button press when that is. So this is kind of like the exact opposite.
I actually use the music to get the right rhythm for my button mashing.
Nice. Again, Syl's been getting very good at this. I am probably slightly behind now due to that death, and we're going to probably end up checking the chests down here in the backside of Dragonia Fortress, because that one makes a lot of sense. Come back here, friend.
Nice. Do we have a moment for a donation?
Yeah, fire it up.
Alright, we have a $50 donation coming in from BDragon28 saying good luck to all the runners. Thank you so much, BDragon. Really appreciate that. And that gets us within $4 of our loom goal. So, yeah, if you got a bag of chips or a couple candy bars out there that, well, actually you can't take the exact things, but monetary equivalent of that will be enough to get us the cathedral cutscenes in loom.
So, Syl, you just mentioned using the music, right? I didn't actually think about that, so I just had a 0 MP, 0 damage hop across the Lake of Fire there. What?
Yeah, I think I used like 1 or 2 MP, so it was pretty good for me too.
What people don't know is that Syl is an incredible teacher of these games, not just runner of these games. And probably doesn't get enough credit for that within the community, because I know I have a reputation for running a lot of randomizers, and that's kind of my thing, but it's all Syl's fault, basically. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't be doing this right now, so thank you, Syl.
Hashtag blame Syl.
Where do I go now?
But yeah, Under Dragonia Fortress is basically the hype cave of Crystalis with its 5 early drops that you're basically gonna get Mimic Chest like 4 times. Where do we go right now? We're about to deviate pretty heavily, I believe.
Yep. So we're still looking for 1 sword, and then we still need the 3 bows that give us access to the final dungeon.
Yep. We've got a ways to go yet. It feels like we're making good time, though, sitting around 25-ish key items each, probably. So we're flying through the seed, because it's been real linear. We haven't had to make a lot of decisions yet. But now is the time for decision-making, and it is likely that we're about to make a very different decision. Or not. I mean, Syl could be doing what I'm doing. I don't know that for sure. but flight is what really opens up the game and makes the game a lot of a test of your decision-making skills and a little bit of luck. Luck is a little bit mitigated in this routing, though, because we have story mode on, but luck does come into play a little bit.
Ah!
That you could be anywhere right now, Syl. Actually, I do want to show off the Sword of Water here, even though we're not going to use this terribly much because we have flight. Sword of Water lets us do this. Lets us create bridges.
Very convenient.
I already got that. Flip.
Flight is also real nice for, like, I don't want to deal with these monsters right now.
As long as they're not flying, you can jump over them, or just fly over them.
Worth noting, though, Morning Stars count as flying.
Projectiles...
The enemy does not, but the Morning Star can still hit you.
Morning Stars count as projectiles, interestingly enough, because reasons.
Although I don't think Barrier can block them, can it?
Nope. Paralysis is the best spell, but we don't have it. Paralysis is a very cheap spell that lets you put something into momentary stasis. And by momentary, I mean, you know, basically forever.
I booted incorrectly again. Which is fine, but not that fine. I'm just refilling boots while I'm here.
You booted to Brynmare, I see. That's where I'm refilling my boots every time. I don't know about you.
No, I booted to leave.
Oh, yeah. Wait, how can you refill... Oh, yeah, you probably... Yeah, never mind. Can you... Okay, we're going this way. We're jumping over some enemies. We're jumping over some more enemies. Did I mention we're jumping over enemies?
Not quite enough. Always be jumping over enemies.
That's kind of what I wanted.
Oh, go away. Ow.
I just booted to the wrong place. Sucks. Sucks real hard. Alright. So knowing Syl, I don't know, Syl, did you do ESI? That's usually your play.
Nope.
Huh. Weird. Weird and unexpected. ESI is also usually my play. Evil Spirit Island is an area that has a total of, when all is said and done, 9 checks on it. It ends up being, and does have one of the bosses that we have to kill, so it ends up being a very good choice of place to go. But instead, we're gonna use a big mix of spells where we are now to kind of get around a little bit and traverse a lot of the terrain here. Normally you also have to do this with Sword of Water, but we're not doing that. That's bad. That's silly. Why would we do something like that?
Indeed, of course. I do have a very quick donation here. $4 donation from Chala Kitty. Make sure to get this right. Thank you all for making us get more loom. So that was the last $4 we need. We're gonna be doing cathedral cutscenes, everybody. Thank you so much for all your donations and chipping in here and make that happen.
So that means that we've had more drama, more Crystalis. And now we're getting more loom too. Seems like a good night.
Oh, absolutely. Get all of the additional cutscenes and bonus featurettes on this DVD.
Also, Syl, this might be the fastest I've ever been to 30 key items in a seed.
I was gonna say, this game plays pretty quickly. Already at 38 minutes and about 50 seconds, and those trackers are looking pretty full right now.
But conspicuously, that part in the top right,
it's filling up.
It needs to be a lot more full than it is right now.
It does need to be completely full, honestly, and it is not at this point. Because those 3 bows, you need all 3. They are required. You'll see the heart of the Crystalis later. I promise. I have resources, we're fine. A lot of this game is just sort of thinking about the resources you have to get around, because you need magic to fly, you need hit points to not die.
I like that sometimes it does kind of hint that there's a certain type of item in the chest based on a certain message. I don't want to spoil too much.
Well, the message you have too many items is an inventory thing. You can only hold 8 consumables at a time. There's a hard limit on that. It's based on the menu screen. I'm sure you've seen us both menuing a fair bit to go get at our items because, you know, dying is bad and living is good. So what ends up happening is that if you have more than 8 when you walk up to the chest, at first you'll sort of slow down a little bit on the chest, and then you'll get the message that says you have too many items. Such a limitation does not exist for,
any other type of item?
Particularly key items. It can only display 8, but there's a buffer that you could discard a key item and it'll actually just shuffle through the buffer to the next item. Which is super important to remember if you have like 11 key items sitting in your inventory, because you have like 2 bows and a whole bunch of uncached in quest items. Not gonna be a problem today, but can be a problem. And you can see that with all of these key items, we're just getting piles upon piles upon piles of experience points now per kill, compared to like the amount that we need for our levels. So you'll see us take a few fights here and there just to very quickly pick up some experience points as we go. Still has practiced the move and stab an awful lot, which is what they do in the vanilla run to farm quickly. Actually, I don't need that. Alright. So you can see there, I was just kind of using that door to go in and out and pick up level 11. I'm going to go in and out of this door to make a checkpoint, in case I die. Always good to have a checkpoint.
Got some sage advice in the chat from Dragon Lord Carter saying, the most important HP is the last one, everything else is a resource.
I mean, if something hits you for more than one, you definitely want to have more than one hit point lying around, but yeah, I can see that. Ooh. Jerk birds, why? Why do you do this to me? I mean, I know why you do this to me, you're jerks and birds, but... Alright, that's good. So, Syl, are we going to be underestimate?
Probably.
Hey, this jerk again.
I say, yeah, be really careful here. If you go too fast, yeah, make you run another one.
Ooh, I made a mistake.
That's bad, don't do that.
Ooh.
Oops. This one.
So at this point, it's really just kind of a search for items, more or less.
Yep, we have
I'm
to.
looking for those bows.
And all four swords. Do not tell anybody how we're doing relative to each other, please.
Of course, not a problem.
Like, this is a fairly chill race, but, you know.
Yeah, we don't want to be spoilering that. Oh, so and so's
Just got
yeah.
such and such thing.
So I've kind of been trying to be careful. I've been seeing things pop up, and I'm like thinking, like, you know, if I ask a question about that, I'll probably hint that somebody's got that, and then somebody will answer. Hey, what does this do? Oh, what is this? Oh, well, you've got the thing already.
The number next to level is in fact the key item count. That's correct.
So does the randomizer... I can ask this question because it's kind of general, but are there safe boss / mini boss strats that are considered?
A lot of them, like a lot of the bosses, kind of like get way safer if you have the level 3 bracelet, to the point that the logic won't force you to do them without a level 3 charge.
But
that's kind of more of a suggestion than a rule, though. Some of the bosses, you really just want to stab.
especially with Power Ring, where stabbing becomes real good. Stabbing is definitely going to be the strat a lot of the time.
The most super effective strat, put the pointy end of the stick in the boss. Usually tends to work pretty well.
Yeah, in this game is no exception, honestly.
Yeah, there's no iframes on bosses or anything either, so you just like
You
a couple
like
of
we
the
did-
bosses, like the strategy really is to just like
walk
go
up and
ham and
walk up and mash on it. Yeah. It's almost never the wrong strat. Except for Kelbest, because screw that guy. Kelbest makes me salty. But yeah, the bosses, you'll notice that a lot of the time we're just trying to line up safe ways to stab them, or use the, if we have the level 3 bracelet, just burn the level 3 bracelet into them as often as possible. Ouch. But yeah, we are just gonna keep guessing until we are right, which is always the best and worst part of a randomizer.
I was looking for that go mode item, no matter what, because there's always a situation where a runner is one item away from being able to go ahead and complete the game.
Why am I alive? Yes, Dragonlord Carter, level 3 shots do take up MP, and of course the better shots use up more MP.
in the base game, the swords are progressively more powerful because you get them progressively later in the game. In the randomizer, it's instead based on how many upgrades you have for it.
Yep.
So it's 2, 4, or 8, depending on whether you have level 1, 2, or 3 shot.
Really enjoying the diversity of enemies that have been randomized around the map. Just kind of seeing things, just that's the whatever it is kind of enemy. I didn't expect to see that one here. Or hey, there's 1,000 of these things.
Well, that's not really when I wanted to do that, but broke my opal statue. Oh well.
Yep. Hi, Free Enterprise friends. How's it going tonight? I heard you like engineers. Free Enterprise is the community that got me started on randomizers. I think it was Dragon Warrior for you, right, Syl?
Yeah.
But yeah, the Free Enterprise folk are great.
Absolutely want to give a shout out for the raid real quick here. Thank you to the Free Enterprise folks for raiding with your party, and welcome everybody.
44 sits, though.
You've come to us in a very interesting time. Of course, we've got sylverfyre and Demerine are doing our Crystalis Randomizer Race here. About 50 minutes into it. Don't really want to talk about too much about where everybody is at the moment because that would give stuff away. So
yeah, we are on voice chat with each other, just kind of being casual about this, but
yeah,
we take it seriously when we race each other. Let's be real for a minute.
yeah, don't want to spoil anything too much here. So we'll just say that they're both doing pretty well so far.
And of course, it's time for one of my favorite jokes from my stream, which is I wish it were this easy in real life. So Syl should know which check I'm doing. The chest sprites look like a phone to you, Dijon? I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that. I can kind of see that too. I guess the way to think about it is you go pick up the phone and someone is on the other end of the line and gives you something for your troubles. There you go.
Or as a mimic and jumps out at you.
Those are just phone charges.
Would you like this collect call from somebody you haven't seen in 12 years?
No. That's when it attacks.
Ow. Game, please. Look, Dijon, I'm old, okay? I'm, like, way old. I exist from a time when collect calls were a thing.
I remember those too, but I think it was more of the collect pun.
That too. Rest in peace, General Dragon. Boy, are you dead.
Hate this fight.
Keldesk 1? Keldesk 2? Keldesk 3? Keldesk's Revenge from Beyond the Grave? Either that or you're doing the fight that I'm about to go do, which is Carmine, who also stinks on ice, I guess.
Wow.
So just to mention here for our friends who just joined us from Free Enterprise, we are once again doing Speedrun Ragnarok, and we're proud to benefit Take This again this year here on the RPG Valkyries channel. And Take This is a mental health nonprofit whose main mission is to inform the gaming community about mental health issues, provide education on different disorders and prevention techniques, and reduce the overall stigma around mental illness. Take This exists to let people know it's okay to not be okay. No one is alone in their struggles with mental health, and there's always hope for improvement. And of course, for those of you that have been to conventions like PAX, MAGFest, and TwitchCon, you've probably seen that they've done panels on mental health issues in the gaming community. They've also, at some of those conventions, like especially PAX, have set up the AFK rooms, professionally staffed, safe and accepting spaces available for anyone who needs a place to regain their calm.
I know I have been a MAG goer for the last 3 years, and even though I'm not going this year, the AFK room was just a savior for me in the last couple of years I've been there, because a convention that's basically going all day for the entirety of a 4-day weekend's a little tough and can really drain you out. And so having people that you can talk to are just, you know, it's okay to, like, take a minute, and they're really good at helping you take a minute, which is awesome.
Absolutely. And I want to give a quick shout out here. Avatar N has subscribed with Twitch Prime, so thank you very much, Avatar, for doing that. And enjoy the wonderful emotes.
So that's the second straight time I've done this fight and forgotten to equip my my power ring.
You should equip your power ring.
No, you don't need it for Mato 2, it's fine. As long as you got a Blizzard bracelet, everything's fine.
Pretty much. It's usually like one cycle less if you have the power ring on.
Power ring on. Yeah, but I also can't dodge without the speed boots for that fight, so it's usually one less medical herb if I'm...
And subscriptions to this channel do also benefit Take This. Just in case if you're one.
Yep, it's a great cause. Why does my hand hurt so much? Why does my hand hurt so much? Am I getting old?
Ah, heck.
We're all getting a little bit older each and every day. In fact, you're older right now than you were at the start of this run.
And now I'm older still.
My goodness. It never ends.
Look, Syl and I both have been known to break out with the They Might Be Giants on our streams. I mean, everyone's got to have a favorite They Might Be Giant song. That's how this works, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's how it works.
It is required. You know, I always feel like mine is an oddball choice, but that's me. I mean, you can love Birdhouse. Birdhouse is a fine song. It is not my favorite They Might Be Giant song. It does not make it a bad song. It just makes it not my favorite. Sun Song is good. Mesopotamians is my dad's second favorite They Might Be Giant song. And Aang is my dad's favorite They Might Be Giant song. I fired that the wrong way. Dr. Worm from Dr. Starscream there. Another good one. I, of course, am a really, really big fan of They'll Need a Crane. Myself. But I'm weird like that.
I'm really bad at picking favorites, and you know this.
I know this. Especially They Might Be Giant songs. There's a lot of choices there. Like, having to choose a favorite They Might Be Giant song is a little tough. Can pick a favorite album. I can get behind that in Ben.
I don't even think I can do that.
That's also fair.
That's not what I was hoping it was.
We're getting to that point in this run, I think.
We really are. Where it's like, where's the thing?
Where's the one thing? I'm pretty sure we're both looking for one thing. I'm looking to not get lost here, though. So how many different status effects does this game have? This game has poison, this game has paralysis, this game has stone, and I think that's the extent of it. And it's transformed, which is
Yeah, getting turned into a slime, which does count as a status effect.
sort of.
I've gotten turned into a slime deliberately to get rid of a different status effect.
Usually poison. Although, Syl, I'm going to say
No,
this
it's
right
actually
now.
paralyzed.
It's actually paralyzed. Fair. I'm going to say this right now, and I'm going to curse myself for later. So, do you know how many times I have been poisoned this run so far?
How many?
0.
I haven't gotten poisoned very much. It might be more than 0, but like...
I am at dead set 0. I can't believe that I'm at 0, but I'm at 0.
Oh, jeez.
Please die. Okay, I do need to do this right now. I appreciate everybody whose answer is I really can't pick one, including Syl. Well, let's kill some people.
Indeed, and if we've got time for a real quick donation, we got $50 from Couch23. Saying
There goes
here's
Rumple's
one.
statue. I was trying not to use that up.
I used mine
Here's
up
one
already,
per
too.
Bonka's. Oh, sorry about
Go
that.
ahead,
Here's
sorry.
one per Bonka's promise. Keep rocking for Alex. Less than 3. P.S. Sid can take a long nap because saving him is too fast. So thank you so much, Couch, for that $50 donation.
Can't pick one song, pick 23-second songs. That's kind of cheating. But yeah, we are just running around the world here, just chasing down the things that we need to finish.
Ow! Ow! One feature of having a lot of key items. Things hurt!
We have armor, too, and things hurt.
Yeah, we have armor. It's not doing very much. Armor is a numerical reduction.
Seriously?
We have pretty good armor at this point. So, like, getting better armor isn't really...
Not really a thing at this point.
Oops. Oh, this is fine.
This seed is just not getting any easier, huh? It's really hard to get better armor at this point, honestly. The best armor in the game in the randomizer, because it's been Psycho Armor, which was the strongest armor in the vanilla game with its 32 strength, was nerfed to 20 because it also lets you regenerate health. So the ceramic suit was moved to 32, but you can buy it in shops, but it's even with as many key items as we have, it's always real expensive. And I don't really want to go out of my way to go into armor shops if I can help it at this point. But basically the mentality of, oh god, we have better things to do right now. But we are just we are trying to rip through as many checks as we can right now because, you know, if we don't have it, we need to have it. And I don't have it.
Little glitch there. Wait, that's the only thing there.
That was so bad.
Wait, I have that, and I've had that like all game. Well, I got poisoned.
That's not what I wanted to do. Wrong spell.
I'm gonna ignore it. I might as well cure it.
I am running really thin on focus right now, Syl.
This is like having it turn into this like it's gonna be the last place we check ever is.
I've also just like run out of focus, and so it's like it's getting real bad. Let's do this. I'm getting indecisive too. So one of the biggest things in randomizers is don't be indecisive. It's a real bad habit to be in.
Whole lot of warping going on right now, just all over the
We're
place.
like kind of like flying all over the place looking for.
It is very
things
obvious that we are both looking. It has to be that we're both looking for the bow of sun right now.
Yep.
There is absolutely no way that that is not the case. And so we are trying our darndest. How does one decide to not be indecisive? That is a question, certainly. It's a very difficult question. Stay right there, please. Thank you. Like, the whole idea is you gotta kind of understand how long it's gonna take in the decision tree to make any sort of decision, and then just basically be pre-programming yourself to sort of make those choices when they come up.
Oh heck! I made a mistake.
Come on, game. Which terrible check that I've orphaned.
I know, right?
I have a bad feeling, but I don't want to go and try and cash in on bad feelings right now. I actually want to play the game.
Okay.
But yes, also be prepared to just, like, decide something and just go with it. It's like, you know, whatever, I'm making a check. As long as you're making a check, it's fine. It doesn't matter what that check necessarily is at any given point in time, as long as you're making it. And make a lot of... And sigh a lot and complain at the randomizer, because that fixes everything. Because, you know, even if things are not going your way, sighing, shaking your head, and complaining at the randomizer is a good way to make yourself feel better.
Oh, absolutely.
We do a lot of that, don't we?
Yup.
You couldn't hear it for Dragon Warrior. But we were doing it. We were doing it live, just for our own entertainment. Yeah, Mecha, I think about Must Be Tuesday and their musical showcases for Z2 that they've done a couple of now with Meg, and it's like when something goes wrong, they just go with it. Like, what else are they gonna do? So they go with it. They are very good at what they do, and what they do is very difficult, so I have a lot of respect for that. The fact that they can just do what they do, right, which is to say, not stop. Which is just impressive in its way. And the result is fantastic. You know, like, yes, there's a couple of mistakes in the music, but they're playing for a solid hour plus, and they hit, like, 99+% of their notes. They are an incredible musician. Needless to say... Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, even a lot of times, you know, if you're not, like, super used to knowing what the song's gonna be,
yep,
you might not even notice that mistake.
No, absolutely, and so... Needless to say, it's always a joy watching that particular run. I know I've seen it a couple of times now. It doesn't get old. And of course, Sealy Faye in chat is the one who did the ROM hacking for that particular ROM, which was really neat. You know, just hacked out the music, but not the sound effects.
Yeah, different songs, different rhythms to those songs.
Yep. Alright, here we go.
Did you get the Bow of Sun?
I have the Bow of Sun.
I do not have the Bow of Sun.
Seriously?
I seriously do not have the Bow of Sun.
That was a hard guess.
I have a full
magic complement, full
magic complement in every of the turn-inable items.
So, Dragon2, waiting for his core to open. It's the only way to do damage. But when he comes down and does the transform beam shot, it assures that he will go back up right afterwards.
I am real confused right now. because I mean, there's no way it's here, because this has been open forever, and I'm pretty sure you've gotten it, and it's the only place I have left that I have to be missing. I have to be forgetting something, and I'm not sure what that is.
Well, everybody, if my music is up right now, and I hope it is, enjoy the biggest banger in video games. That's right, it's time for Tower. So I have to ask, Syl, when I said that your usual play was Evil Spirit, did you go to Stixie immediately?
No, I went to Foglamp Cave.
What? You? I love it. I love the play. You went there knowing that my mindset would be I am never going to that place if I can help myself.
Okay, I've turned in every item. What am I not... What single check have I not done? Did all that. Did all that.
Jerkbird, please. Go away.
Is it on Clark? Because I missed Clark's item.
No. Thankfully, it was not on Clark. I will tell you that.
Okay.
That would have made you very
That
sad,
would've-
I'm aware.
That would have made me real sad, because I would have had it all this time. But that also wouldn't make any sense, because, like, why would you be looking for it this whole time?
Oh yeah, no, because Evil Spirit Island's an early check, and
I full cleared Hydra. Right? Right.
yeah, that was actually where I went first. I immediately went for the 11 item full clear of Hydra and Stixie. That was when I muttered to myself.
I went back to Tornell.
That's when I muttered to myself. I've done this already.
Uh-huh.
Was the
Did I miss something in... I think I missed something here. In Saber North. I also don't have the Storm Bracelet.
neither do I.
Huh. It's probably in, Pyramid. Because back of Pyramid is, like, past go mode. Oh, not that chest.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-da.
Yeah, this is the fun part of the randomizer run. The fun part of any randomizer run where you're kind of backchecking and looking for things because you're like,
Yeah,
gosh,
I haven't had it this bad in a while, and like, oh, I went the wrong way too.
Yeah, it's also the time that kind of you get that really fast seed, and it's like, yeah, this is so fast. I'm gonna beat the game. It's such a good time, and then all of a sudden, it just kind of chugs down, just straight slows down.
Oh yeah.
It's almost always like in a obvious
There it
place
is.
too.
Yep, I should have gone there way ago.
Yep, you missed the spot on Saber.
Yep.
I was very glad to find it there, but like also not because I was putting that check off because I
I was metagaming too hard with like you also not finding it, and I don't normally leave that spot behind, and like
Nope.
I left it behind and then I forgot about it because I don't normally leave it behind. All right, let's go.
never metagame.
I can't not once I have the like
Like 6 items,
It's
yeah.
literally not an option in my brain.
Nope, with 6 items, it's real hard not to.
Anyway.
Like the only game that I've played long enough to be in a relationship would be what's it called? Would be Puzzle Fighter. Of which I think
Fighter's a pretty good game though.
I mean, I figured out that I've probably played about 15,000 hours of it.
Wow.
Puzzle Fighter is absolutely one of my favorite games of all time by a wide margin. Oh no, I don't just play Puzzle Fighter, Scala. I competed in tournaments in Puzzle Fighter. I was good at Puzzle Fighter. And of course, this is from RG. Here is the heart of Crystalis. It is Dine.
Of course, we have like all the resources, so even though we've set a flag called hard mode Dine, it's not going to be that hard.
I'm just going to throw up my barrier. I'm going to stand here underneath the left turret. I'm going to walk over to the right turret with my barrier up, start shooting at the right turret. The flag also makes the turrets killable. The turrets fire bullets in a couple of patterns now, like they've changed the patterns recently to make them a little bit more random. And then we're just going to stand in the safe spot. And time is when I lose control. And there is time. 1:23 and 26 seconds for 44 key items.
Nice.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Here's my sub 125 finally. Nice race, Cell, as always.
Dragon 2 down for me.
Alright.
I had a real good Dragon 2 fight.
I did not. I hit a 3-cycle.
It was a 3-cycle for me just because of like he opened up lasers immediately.
Oh, geez, yeah, that's nice.
But like you don't have a charge up for that.
Yep, Firebird Lover is commenting that my marathon streak lives on. It is now at 3-0 for this marathon. Which is weird. Syl is really good at this game, and I got a break here, honestly. Also, you'll notice Syl is level 14, and I did the end game at level 12. Because Syl just gets experience. It's that Dragon Warrior Final Fantasy 1 mentality. It's a good mentality to have.
Oof. Made a mistake on that.
Did you get refreshed, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
I checked like almost everything. I think speed boots must have been on Clark.
Yes, speed boots were on Clark. I used those to get around a little bit. So I got that's where I got the fast kicks from. But yeah, I put off Saber North for a while until I had all the other bosses dead. And then I had to pause for a second, wait till I kill all the bosses. Because in this mode, if you don't kill all the bosses, Dragon 2 doesn't show up and you have to walk of shame. Well, you teleport of shame, but it's still pretty darn shameful. Having 5 magic rings for the ending was really nice, though. But yeah, that is Crystalis, and all of the difficult decisions that go into it, and even though we both ended up in a massive bow hunt at the end there for this bow sun,
I'm still annoyed at myself for metagaming at all.
Yeah, I mean, usually my game plan in story mode is do the boss spots and then do the not boss spots, but I did like full clear Fortress too, because full clearing Fortress made a lot of sense.
Yeah, I full cleared Fortress as well. And then the thing is, I thought it had to be something that was behind full clear Fortress.
Same. Like, I was absolutely all in on full clear Fortress there first. Like, I saw no reason not to do full clear Fortress as soon as I had all 4 swords and Blizzard.
Did you go back and turn in Ivory Statue?
I didn't even find Ivory Statue. Where was that?
On Deo. Which requires telepathy, which was in Fortress.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I realized that Deo was there, but I'm like, I still need to do Kelby, so I went to So I ended up going to Saber North and did Kelby Sled to get to the bottom 2 chests, because I also needed to hit up Nadare's, because Kelbest 1 bites. But yeah, it's in the SNK collection. Don't get the GBA version, or the Game Boy version, or the portable version. I forget which it is. I think it's GBA. Don't get that version. Don't do that to yourself.
It's Game Boy Color.
Oh,
And
yeah,
it's
just
like...
it's bad. Don't do it.
It's basically like... Put only the center of the screen onto where the pixels are on the Game Boy, and like anything that doesn't fit in the Game Boy's pixels, they're just like... You don't have that part of the screen.
Yeah, don't do that to yourself. Also, the music isn't even as banging in this GBC version. It's really weird. And as we all know, bangers are very important in your video games. So, you know, don't do that to yourself. Syl is still going to sub 130 this seed, by the way, even with the bit of a miss at the end there. And do it at level 14, and do it with 2 more levels than I had.
You know what? I'm not going to bury this.
Are you just doing it? Are you doing it live?
Yeah, we'll just play Toho. It's fine.
Syl's gonna show off. This is what it's designed to be like, and if you do this without barrier, this is what you end up doing. Before this patch that we're on right now, which I believe is 2.13, before this particular patch, it was,
I was in a corner, I couldn't get out of that.
yeah, trying to hit barrier.
I was pause buffering and trying to do the barrier off the pause buffer.
Yeah, that's a neat trick. Trying to get it gives you a 1-frame barrier, but if the bullet's already in the barrier, you are dead.
Yep, the barrier is literally a hitbox around your own hitbox that will absorb the projectiles.
Sometimes it doesn't work so good.
It's also only active for, I believe, 7 out of 8 frames.
Yeah,
so, when you see the barrier kind of blink like that, it actually is turning off. It's more than 1 pixel wide, so like usually that isn't a problem.
Yep, but you see that flicker on it is actually a flicker. You can get hit. It's hard to get hit. But if you're good at the game like I am, you'll get hit every time. Syl and I have more than once been embarrassed by either Dragon2 or Carmine, who is the boss at the back of Dragonia Fortress that you need the Thunder Sword for, that fires off the circular ring beams, the 5 beams. Getting hit by that change.
I accidentally got hit by that counterattack because I accidentally hit the middle one.
Yeah, the counterattacks, part of it is that the counterattacks in the vanilla game are barrier, or you can absorb it with barrier, so it doesn't matter. In this, nope, not allowed. The counterattacks on Hardline actively pierce barrier, so good luck with that. Oh, and they hit real hard, like everything else in this video game at the end.
Okay, we're just gonna bury this.
Yeah.
This is a lot harder at 48 key items than it normally is. 47 key.
Yeah, no, I basically stood... This would be a sub 130 if you weren't messing around a little bit there, if you just decided to stick the barrier and go underneath.
Yep, I'm gonna do that now.
Yep. Also, of note, if you're going to die on Dine, go in and out of this room. It creates a checkpoint and lets you keep Crystalis.
Oh, good point.
Don't die this time, though, Syl. I know you.
I'm not gonna die this time.
Not gonna die this time. I'm fine.
We're just gonna cheese it with barrier.
I'm just in barrier and
Oh wait, I'm not even on barrier.
You should put yourself on barrier. I mean, healing yourself to full here is not the worst idea, but it takes... But yeah, Crystalis Randomizer, a fantastic mix of, you know, interesting decisions, interesting world traversal, lots and lots of flight. Of course, thank you everybody for donating for story mode so that we could go get many, many swords. Not that this would have been any different than a non-story mode run the way it played out. But, you know, it's kind of nice to have to go and kill everything.
Alright, and time is when I lose control here.
GG, Syl.
GG.
Indeed, the GG to both of our runners. Thank you so much for both going through that game, teaching us a whole lot about what exactly goes into a randomizer run for Crystalis, and for us for completing the game as well. That's
yeah. And actually, the Crystalis Randomizer community is like starting the initial planning for a tournament.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I think they're doing the first. They're going to release the flags that they're doing for the first few rounds because they're going to do multiple flag sets. But they're going to release the first few flag set. They're the first flag set, and we suspect it's going to look something like what we just did. It will always be full shuffle where all of the items are basically everywhere. But the whole idea here is that Crystalis Randomizer is starting to kind of get a little bit of footing. I know I enjoy it. Syl and I have run this a fair few times at this point. Syl defeating me at the GDQ Randomizer Showcase last month, which was pretty cool. But yeah, I think that's about the end of that, isn't it?
that would be about the end of that.
I
Thank
think
you, everyone, for watching.
Absolutely. And stay tuned. We've got more coming up next. In fact, I believe we've got Bloom with Loremaster Motos and Shalakitty. I believe we'll be getting to see all of those cathedral cutscenes as well, thanks to your donations. So stay tuned.